everybody. Good afternoon. Wherever you are, welcome, everybody. This is ESPN's Cal West Sports, and I am the sports doctor. Welcome in, everybody. Like I said, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you live and watching this live. We got a lot of sports to get into today. Yes, we do. And if you hear any noise in the background, don't worry, that's just my friend and my girlfriend. And anyway, let's get right into it. We have a lot to get into today. And yes, we have baseball, basketball, some good amount of NFL football. We just wrapped up the NFL draft this past weekend on last Saturday for the 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and we're on Monday on Thursday, 2 and 3 on Friday, and 4 through 7 last Saturday. And then we had a lot of picks, a lot of NFL picks, a lot of trades made as well. And the best thing about it is that I can talk about it right here on ESPN Today with Sports. And I hope you did watch this morning at 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. this morning with Eastern Time with Sports Run with Evan Cohen, Michelle Smallman, and Chris Canty. And let's get right on into it. Yes, we do. Let's start off with a little NBA, shall we? Because we are in the thick of the NBA playoffs, everyone. Last night, let's recap what games played last night and won. The Magic beat the Pistons 94-88, going up 3-1 in the series, which means they're up for it. There is an elimination run. First elimination game coming up in game 5. We got the Suns and the Thunder, 131 to 122. OKC won that one, which means they swept and got all 4 games that they needed to win against the Suns. So the Suns are now eliminated from the NBA playoffs. So they get to go home and pack things up for the season and getting ready for the lottery and the NFL draft. The NBA draft, The Timberwolves and the Nuggets. The Nuggets just nugged out the Timberwolves 125 to 113. Win the Nuggets at home, which gives it a 3-2 series for Minnesota lead. So they are just a game away from coming back down. 3-1. I think it was. Yeah. We've been 3-1. We're from 3-1 to a 3-2 now series. Tonight we got the games on tonight. And we have 2 of them are on ESPN and the other one is on NBC and Peacock. Tonight we got the Sixers taking on the Celtics in Boston. Boston leads 3-1. Yes, this is an elimination game for the Sixers. That game is at 6 o'clock on ESPN. We also got the Atlanta Hawks taking on the New York Knicks at 7 o'clock on NBC and Peacock. And the series is tied by 2 apiece. The Spurs and the Trailblazers will go at it tonight at 8:30 on ESPN. And yes, Robin Yama and the Spurs are up 3-1. And that does not put the odds in the Timberwolves' favor because there's a very high percentage that teams go down 3-1 and come back and win the series. Usually it doesn't happen, but really rare occasions that can happen. But that's very, very, very rare. And then tomorrow night, we have the Lakers taking on the Rockets. It's a late night game at 9 o'clock on ESPN. And the Lakers are up 3-1 in that series. Yeah, we know the Lakers were not as good as it was in the last game. LeBron, I think, had I think it was like 12, 13 something points. So here's a little off this game there. Magic takes on the Pistons, 6 o'clock tomorrow night on Prime Video at 6 o'clock. And at 6:30, we got the Cavaliers of Cleveland taking on the Raptors in Cleveland at 6:30 on ESPN. And this series is tied up at 2 apiece as well. So make sure to check your local listings, your local Prime station, your local ESPN stations, and of course the Prime Video app. As well for those games in your area. We got to talk Major League Baseball. We are getting closer to. We're already in spring. Spring is basically sprung, and we're getting closer to summertime. You know what that means? Time to the beach. Time's school's out, and it also means summer vacation for families and couples. Me and my girlfriend about to go on one in July. We're actually going to a National Down Syndrome convention. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. Okay, we got the let's recap last night's games first. In Major League Baseball, the Cardinals beat the Pirates on the road 4-2. Same thing 4-2 for the Yankees over the Rangers. 5-0 Red Sox over the Blue Jays on the road. The Rays beat the Guardians 3-2. White Sox winning 8-7. The Twins beat the Mariners 11-4. 9-7 Padres over the Cubs, and Dodgers 5-4 over the Mariners. All right, games for tonight we have, of course, we got the Baltimore taking on Houston Astros on MLB TV. We got a bunch of these on MLB TV, and some of these are simulcast. We also got the Cardinals Pirates. We got the Braves and the Tigers. And the Braves are on 11 games over 500 with 20 wins and 9 losses. Can I say that the Braves are better than they have been in the last year or two? Yeah, I know they have been pretty good, but now, supposedly looking at this right now, 11 games over 500, that's pretty impressive. This far away for how far we are to the for the way how far we are from the MLB All-Star break. The Detroit is plus 102, and the Braves are minus 122. And this game is on MLB TV, but it's also simulcast on TBS. I'll be definitely watching this game myself, being a big diehard Braves fan myself. We got the Rangers and the Yankees tonight. Also on MLB TV as well as the Prime Video. We got the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. That's at 6:05, 6:07. Yankees game is 7:05. The Rays and the Guardians play at 5:10. At 5:40, we got the Rockies on the road against the Reds. And then we got the Giants on the road against the Phillies. And the Philadelphia Phillies, they are 10 games under 500. This is one of the roughest seasons they had yet. And they're not even near the MLB All-Star break, even right now. And that game is on close MLB TV at 5:40. At 6:10, we got the Mets taking on the Nationals for pitch. And the Mets are also 10 games under 500 as well. But on the brighter note, looks like the Angels taking on the White Sox at 6:40. The Angels are 12-18 and 12-17 for the White Sox. They're both under 500, but not as much as the games I gave you with the Mets, the Phillies, and Well, those three. We also have the Diamondbacks taking on the Brewers tonight at 6:40 first pitch. The Brewers are a game under 500 right now, currently. The Mariners take on the Twins at 6:40 tonight, first pitch. 6:40 first pitch. The Padres will take on the Cubbies. And they also take games above 500, actually, for the Padres. Looking good. The Warriors will take on the A's Athletics on ESPN, simulcast on ESPN, on MLB TV, and ESPN Unlimited, on the ESPN Unlimited app. We got the Dodgers and the Mariners at 9:10. And the Mariners the Dodgers are up 10, 11 games over 500 as well. And yes, with the Warriors Kansas City game, that is on ESPN Unlimited. That's on the ESPN Unlimited app. If you don't have the ESPN Unlimited app now, sign up. Sign up now. And who knows, you might even have it depending on your TV provider. So if you have those TV providers that are listed, you already have it. If not, sign up, pay the monthly annual fees, and you are set for everything from sports to wrestling to studio shows and much more. And of course, you also have your own customized sports center. Okay, we also have matches in the WWE that are just coming together. It is for the next big pay-per-view, whatnot. And it's WWE Backlash, which is coming up. We already got a match set last night. See what it was. I'm thinking about that in a second. While I think about that, we do need to go into and recap some college baseball and softball. For the boys baseball, we got games today. Georgetown is up. Thompson is up 5-0 in the second, and on the follow sports, Washington is up 1 in the third, 1-0 in the third against East Michigan. North Dakota State is underway on East Plus at the top of the third against Creighton. We have 3 games that are canceled today. Minnesota State against St. Louis. We have SC Missouri against Missouri. Oklahoma and Texas State. Those 3 games have been canceled. So if you are looking for those, make sure you check with your school and when that game will be made up. We got at 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock, we got Murray and State and Minneapolis, Troy, and the Dogs of Georgia. At 2 o'clock, we got Big Ten and Big Ten North and Big Ten Plus. We got UConn taking on Rutgers. We got Delaware taking on Delaware State at 2, as well as Xavier, Miami, Ohio. East and North Kentucky play each other at 2 o'clock, as well as Bowling Green and Butler. Let me just see. We got Gonzaga taking on Oregon on Big Plus. We got Virginia taking on George Madison. Maryland taking on Georgetown tonight at 5. Ole Miss takes on Mississippi State tonight at 6 o'clock. Kansas and Nebraska State will go out at 6 and 5 on Big Ten Milk and Big Plus. Texas will take out Sam Hamilton on SEC Network Plus at 6:30. This is just with the game I'll just highlight for the boys. For the ladies softball tonight, okay, we have 1 game that was canceled. That's Foreman and Georgia Tech. So if you're a Foreman or a Georgia Tech fan, make sure you check your local. Make sure you check with your school and see when time that game will be made up. We have Charlotte taking on Queens. Let's see here. We got South Carolina State taking on South Carolina. in-state rivals. We got Utah taking on Utah Valley. We got Florida taking on Florida State at 6 o'clock on the SEC Network. We have Kansas City taking on Missouri at 5 on the SEC Network Plus. Those are other games I'm going to highlight for today. We got Virginia taking on Liberty as well at 4 Eastern on ESPN Plus as well. And of course, you can also follow those games and the scores on the ESPN Unlimited app. Okay, the NASCAR. This past weekend, we had the race in my hometown of Alabama at the Talladega Super Speedway. And the last winner was Joey Logano. Next, this weekend's race on the 3rd of May. Like right there, end of March, going into May. This Sunday we have the NASCAR Cup Series in Texas Motor Speedway at Fort Worth, Texas, at 2:30. We have NHL playoffs going on, everyone. Last night, let's go over the two games we had last night. The Flyers and the Penguins squared off, and the Penguins are 1-3-2. Taking the series 3-2. We also have the Golden State Warriors and the Mammoths, I believe that's right, 5-4 in overtime, which ties the series at 2 games apiece. Tonight we have 3 games. We got the Bruins and the we're going to do this one first. Wild taking on the Stars tonight at 7 on ESPN2. That's 1. 2. We got the Ducks. The Mighty, I don't think it's the Mighty Ducks because they got reminds me of the movies series. The Ducks taking on the Oilers at 9 o'clock, the late night game. On simulcast TNT, True TV, and HBO Max. We got the Brewers and the Serpents also on simulcast. That's at 6:30. TNT, True TV, and HBO Max as well. Whew. A little water. There you go. One of my ladies' bottle. And of course, tomorrow night we got 3 games. We got the 6 o'clock puck drop, Lightning and the Canadians. We got the Flyers taking on the Penguins tomorrow night, 6:30. Simulcast, HBO Max, True TV, and TNT. Same with the Mammoths and the Golden Knights. 9 o'clock tip. 9 o'clock first drop. TNT, True TV, and HBO Max as well. We do have UFL going on. Last weekend we had a couple of good games. We had the Kings beat the Gamblers in overtime, 24-22. We have the Renegades on the Avalanches, 28-14 Avalanches with that one. The Battlehawks and the Defenders. The Defenders definitely defended this one and won this one, 28-22. The Storm stormed the Stallions and won that one 16-0. And this week's games on Thursday night, we got the Battlehawks on the Kings at 7 on FS1. We also have the Gamblers and the Avatars at 7 on Fox on Friday night at 7 p.m. And on ABC at 11 a.m. on Saturday of the 2nd. We got the Renegades and the Defenders. And then we have 3 o'clock also on Sunday, the Storms and the Stallions at 3 o'clock on Fox. Okay. Now, let's see here. We got to do. The WNBA, they are starting up. And we got the WNBA starting tomorrow. And then we got the Suns taking on the Tempo. We got the Dream on the Sky, Fire, and the Storm. We got the Japan versus Mercury. And Mercury Fire, the Fire, and the Japan game, and it's at 9 o'clock, and then we got 2 games at 6. Last week they have added some new teams to the WNBA. And tomorrow night, and Thursday night, we got the Fever and Caitlin Clark taking on the Wings on Ion channel at 6 o'clock on Thursday night on the 30th. We also have, well, let's get into a little golf, shall we? Let's see here. It looks like we have a birthday boy, John Day. Okay, this coming tournament is the Trump National. The Cadillac Champions, Trump National Gold Blue Master in Miami, Florida. $3 million push on the line for that one. This is one thing I don't like about golf and Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump has a lot of things that has his name on it. This is one of the things that his name should not be on, and that's golf, a golf tournament. At all, he should not have his name on a golf tournament on a card for the professional golfers to play on. Okay, we got to talk. It'll be more about the NFL because we had a lot of NFL that went on this past weekend. Like I said, we had the draft this past weekend. Francisco Mendoza did go first overall to the Oakland Raiders. No shot there, but one shocking one was to me was the LA Rams pick a number 13 taking Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson only played like 2 years in Alabama. And he got drafted in the first round. First and foremost. He also, I know they were talking with others getting they had other talks with others. And yes, the Buffalo Bill, the Broncos in Buffalo have made some movement for Mr. Irrelevant. Which, if you don't know what Mr. Irrelevant is, that's the final pick in the NFL draft, Mr. Irrelevant. And also, to me, also that as well as Alex Stroh. Yes, Alex Stroh of ESPN Milwaukee is Mr. Irrelevant. And he definitely looks like Mr. Irrelevant if you look at a picture of him. A little video of him, especially doing a 3-cone drill. He can hardly do a 3-cone drill well, let alone athletically. I can do it better than 3-cone drill than Alex Stroh could ever do. Even with my gut, even though I have a gut right now. And yes, Aaron Rodgers is still a question mark of coming back. But they did draft Pitt Stakes drew Adler in the third round on Friday night, which is a good move. Because even if Rogers comes back or not, or however that is, will go, or how that will fly and go down, at least we have someone solid. And then maybe a little more solid than Aaron, but only because we know all the crazy stuff he's been put us through. From the years of Green Bay, the 2 years in New York, with the Jets, and the his first year so far with the Steelers. And of course, this year is a new coach with Mike McCarthy. So I know there's a lot of speculations and talk about Aaron Rodgers ending his career there. Because we all know Mike McCarthy was his head coach during his prime of his life. Okay, I got some news from Pete Thamel, actually. In the last several days. Looks like Charlie Parker has told ESPN and Down Sports that he is pretty optimistic that the new agreed based eligibility proposal will happen. The DI board and our directors met today, and this was as of 21 hours ago, within the last day or two. We will recommend not to implement the rule. Basically, not implementing a new rule, basically. The establishing eligibility if you use up the eligibility. If you use up the eligibility, don't say, I have another year. I have another year. If you use up your eligibility, you're done. You're done and go on to the next, go on either to the NFL or whatever to the NFL or the UFL or whatever you want to do. Because it's not, if you keep doing that, to me, that's kind of like using abuse of power. Kind of like when we didn't have the peaceful power with president in 21. But that's just an example. Back to Samuel. The people Samuel has sent me. Brandon Salisbury had one college top return. Okay. Texas. Here's something. Texas Tech transfer quarterback Brandon Sabo is checking into a reasonable treatment program for gambling addiction. He's under the NCAA's investigation in the wake of the discovery of sororities making thousands of online bets on a variety of sports via gambling app. This is one of the things I definitely want to talk about is the gambling because this guy here is just college athlete and looking for what the stimulation and under the rest of the time. Anyway, but this one of the things I definitely want to bring up for sure is the gambling stuff because when you are in college and you're doing it is the punishment is not as severe as it is if you do not say in the NFL or the UFL. Because in the NFL, if you do that, you get fined, a hefty fine, maybe even suspension for a couple of games, or maybe a season, depending on the severity of what happened. Mm-hmm. Man, I need to get myself a drink. If you hold a second, I'll be right back. Here we go. All right. And of course, I love my energy the natural way. One is the sponsored by Welcome to Spring Radio, and that is Zoa, and of course Celsius as well. These are vitamin-based ones. None of these other energy drinks that have a lot of sugar and other things in there. This is pure, natural caffeine versus caffeine that's put into it by actual other ways of caffeine versus the vitamins and based. I mean, this is we got me a 9 glass of sparkling orange. And my lady's here. Will you say hello?
Hi.
There she is. That's my girlfriend and roommate, Kayla. Okay, let's get back to the sports, shall we? Okay, I did got news coming in from Sean Sharania from the NBA, where the Boston Celtics president Brad Stevenson has been named the 2025-2026 NBA Basketball Executive of the Year. Stevens also won it back in 23-24, so congratulations on the award. And of course, I got good news. I think this is pretty good. Yeah, this is good. Lakers start alternate weeks is optimistic to return to action in Game 5 against the Houston Rockets tomorrow night after missing 4 weeks with a grade 2 oblique strain. Sources tell ESPN and ESPN's dealing with sports as well. Which will be a game time decision. I figure that from the third consecutive contest. Okay. Oh, here's something I got. Okay, we got the Djokovic has to pay his fine for $50,000, and Jules has to pay $35,000 for their scuffle in Game 4 of Denver and Minnesota. For my baseball MLB insider, the Jet Parsons, I got some news in the last 2 hours. The Philadelphia Phillies manager Rob Thomas has been fired. And Don Lemley will take over as the interim manager. Okay, before I wrap this up, I gotta get a few more pieces out there. The Phillies Flyers forward Makiva will be a healthy scratch for Game 5. And from my NFL senior insider, Pete Thamel, the Steelers placed the rare UFA tender on Aaron Rodgers, meaning that he can accept a 10% raise off his last year's salary, which would bump his salary to about $13 million this season, if he plays though. Another condition of the tender, Rodgers would only be able to sign with the Steelers once training camp begins. So this is a bit of a wrinkle in that plan if he decides to go somewhere else as well. And yes, we all saw it. The Green Bay Packers did draft a kicker. And just like Molly Brown said about on yesterday's episode of Jeremiah Molly, talking about the Packers been burning through kickers. Yeah, they have gone through a lot of kickers in the year, in the season, in the last several years. But let's see if this new kicker can have will be anywhere near or better than McManus. Because we see how McManus can do, especially when the game is on the line and they'll go either short or wide right or wide left, or even a doink or a double doink. But lucky he has not done the double doink. Because that's really a lot worse than down there. It's better than one doink than two. Anyway, I'm going to give you this one before we start wrapping up. The Vanderbilt's undrafted free agent, Jenga Pavia, has accepted an invitation to next weekend's minicamp with the Baltimore Ravens, per sources, and, of course, ESPN doing sports. So, yes, and there are a lot of players that have gone, not been drafted, that will be signing with teams as well. And this is something I definitely want to bring up. And we'll wrap this up with this one. So we are getting closer to 12:30. And that is the fact that, okay, I lost my thought there. Think a minute. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can jog my memory here. In fact, we actually got 14 minutes left before we are done with it down here for at least for today's episode. And do not forget, actually, just a couple of days from June. Actually, we're days away from May, which means me and my lady will be making a move in a little over 30 days from now, which means the show is not going to longer be a weekly show. That's right. It's going to be a daily show, Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, and hey, and maybe some weekends too, here and there. And of course, you can see me and my girl here. That's wearing, you don't really see us both at ESPN Madison's tailgate for the Badger football pregame tailgates. I already work for the season. She's about to get hers. We are just waiting on the boss to give her the good news once we find that out. As well. Excuse me. And I do apologize for my X account. I got suspended, but I will get that back. And I will let you know once I am back on my X account. When I'm no longer suspended on my X account, I will let you know. And come on in. And follow me on all my socials: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube, of course. Make sure you hit that bell. And yes, my lady said for me the bat signal. Oh, yes, I am the first child of DC. Here's the second half right here. And Kayla. And yes, we had some fun this past weekend. We went to see the movie Michael. And we love that movie. And so I recommend you go see the Michael. We are planning to go see that movie again, right, Mama?
Mm-hmm.
And there's one thing I do want to bring up. This past week we went to a place called A Night to Remember. After going there, I realized it was not a night to remember at all. Because it was more like, because once you got in to the terrace, the facility that we had it at, the Monona Terrace. We do love the Monona Terrace, the place. It was just the event that was going on that they're not. Anyway, it's not to remember, but it was not a night to remember for us. Because once we got in, there was almost a little thing of the Candyland. And then they had to sign us and put a person to be our someone of a travel type of thing. And once we got in there, they said they had dinner for us. Yeah, they had music with the DJ and dancing, and the stage for dancing. The dance floor, but the food, the dinner they said they had for us, all it was water and pizza under heat lamps. So yeah, if you are interested in doing the night to remember, do not do it. We tell you do not go there. But we do have one that we can recommend for you that you should do and go to and have a great time. And that's Tim Tebow's Foundation and Night to Shine. Guys, Night to Shine, you definitely shine. And yes, they have a red carpet, a real one, not as what we did, which is a little strip on the carpet where we were. This one has a real red carpet, a real actual meal, actual food, not just pizza and water. It has a better atmosphere. It has a better atmosphere for sure. Better, the food is a lot better. The beverages is more variety of beverages. They also have a place for the ladies to get their makeup done as well, and the shoe shine and all. So yes, we're gonna be doing the next Night to Shine as well, and when we do, we will let you know. And of course, that day is the Friday prior to Valentine's Day, which is my birthday, and next year is on a Sunday, which is ironically the same day as the Super Bowl. So, would you rather celebrate Valentine's Day or the Super Bowl or both? Or how would you do that? Let me know in the comments. How would you would you rather do Valentine's Day or the Super Bowl or both? And how would you go about it? I'm doing both. I'll be doing that because I have to work that Sunday anyway. For my job, with my show with Eastern Joint Sports as well at the Super Bowl. So we'll be at the game for my birthday as well. Right, honey? That's right. United, yes, we will be at the Super Bowl for sure next year. No ifs, but we'll be there for sure for my birthday as well as the Super Bowl. And while you're there during Super Bowl week on Radio Row, I'll be on Radio Row. I will get my booth. I'm working on that. I'm working on that now. I'll be getting that process done to make sure ESPN's Joint Sports is on Radio Row, along with Pat McAfee Show, Jay Patrick, on Sportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Michelle Small, and Chris Kennedy, and like I said, Pat McAfee and Rich Eisen Show as well. And a bunch of others, as well as all those sports podcast shows. And it's not just a podcast show, it's a podcast and a show. That way you can see watch it live and on the radio. It's not on radio yet, but you can listen to that back on the podcast side. Eventually, it will be on radio. Eventually, there's a lot of work we had to do first for that. Okay, we are got 7 minutes left on today's episode. And I had to apologize for this because I had to get some food this week. My money's a little tight. Our money's a little tight right now, so we go to food pantries. And we're not just the only ones. There's a lot of people out there that actually need food that are either one paycheck away from being homeless or even one paycheck from not being able to having little money to get groceries or buying groceries that's with a lot of money, like this much money, but you only get this much food because the prices have gone up. You know how some places may have gone up and gone down here and there. Still getting very little food for a whole lot more money than normal. Like back in the 70s, 80s, and the 90s when I was a kid, and even when my girlfriend was a kid, you could buy 2 or 3, 4 times more of groceries now than you could than back then. But anyway, let's get back into the sports. We got to get back to that. And I do have some podcasts I gotta recommend to everybody. This is my favorite part of doing my shows is giving you podcasts that I recommend you to listen to. First and foremost, the first one is Unsportsmanlike. Aaron Cohen, Michelle Smallman, and Chris Canty. And of course, I gotta mention Connie Cronin. She's been on the show for quite a while now. And of course, you got Pat Costello and one of my favorite segments that he does. Are you over it? The overrated segment. Got the source, says to Jeff Patterson. We also got Audrey and Jeremy. And Audrey and Jeremy, we're looking forward to meeting you. We are going to be at the next Down Syndrome convention in Orlando, Florida. Hope you come. We also have, of course, the WWE's 6 Feet Under with The Undertaker. What? The football with Susie and Amy. 21 Questions with Algor Madison. Of course, the one and only Richard Eisen of the Rich Eisen Show. And of course, the Insiders of the NFL, Good Morning Football, and Paul Feinbaum Show. And the Locked On podcast lineup, including Locked On Bama. Of course, I had to recommend the Always College Football with Graham McElroy, the Alabama Football Podcast, Wake Up, Baltimore, as well as the New Heights, the Devon Green Show, and of course the Get Up, First Take as well, the whole Colin Coward. What do you want to talk about with, of course, the one and only, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. The Ray stories. What's your story? And those are the ones I recommend you for this week. We are basically out of time. But I'll give you one last sports thing and we'll call it a day. Shall we? Okay, let's do this piece. Everyone we do have to deal with, let's see. And of course, I got to mention, Don't Lie with Jason Kelsey's wife, Callie Kelsey, as well. And here's some tips for you all. Make sure you always have your social medias up and going. You know, all my socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube, TikTok. Hit that bell. Get those notifications all turned on all platforms. And I'll let you know, like I said a minute ago, I will let you know once my ex's accounts are both. My ex account is back up and running due to my suspension. I think the pending suspension is still going on. And with that, if you want to see me on the video of me on Pat Patterson, on the Pat McAfee Show, and the video of me on Which I Show, make sure you go to my channel on YouTube. And those videos are there. Make sure you, as well as my TikTok, as well as, of course, my Instagram, they're all right there. Make sure you watch those videos and like it, subscribe. And I am Sadler, the sports doctor, with Downward Sports, with ESPN's Downward Sports. Until next time, the doctor is out. The doctor is out with ESPN's Downward Sports. See you next time. Thank you, everybody.